Have you ever wondered how an empire that ruled for over 1,000 years just disappeared? Today, we're unraveling one of history's greatest mysteries: the fall of the mighty Roman Empire. It wasn't just one thing that brought this giant to its knees. It was a perfect storm of crises that eroded its foundations from the inside out. Imagine an empire stretching from Britain to the Middle East, a beacon of law, engineering, and culture, but beneath the surface, trouble was brewing. Internal corruption was rampant. Emperors were assassinated one after another, and political instability became the new normal. The very heart of the empire was rotting away as leaders focused more on personal gain than on governing. Then came the economic collapse. Rome was spending far more than it was earning. Constant wars drained the treasury, and to pay for it all, they started debasing their currency, mixing cheaper metals into their gold and silver coins. This led to runaway inflation. Prices skyrocketed, trade ground to a halt, and the once prosperous citizens were plunged into poverty. The economic engine that powered the empire was sputtering and dying, while Rome was weakening from within. External threats were gathering at its borders. Various groups, who the Romans collectively called barbarians, began to press against the frontiers. Tribes like the Goths, Vandals, and Huns, driven by climate change, internal conflicts, and the lure of Roman wealth, launched massive invasions. The once invincible Roman legions were stretched thin, fighting on multiple fronts and struggling to hold the line. In a desperate attempt to manage this sprawling and chaotic territory, Emperor Diocletian made a fateful decision. He divided the empire into two halves: the Western and the Eastern Roman empires. While the eastern half, later known as the Byzantine Empire, would thrive for another 1,000 years, the western half continued its decline. This division created two separate entities with different priorities and resources, making a unified defense impossible. The final blow came in the year 476 AD. The last Western Roman emperor, a young boy ironically named Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Otto. This event is traditionally marked as the end of the Western Roman Empire. There was no epic final battle, just a quiet fizzle. The giant was no more. The fall of Rome plunged Europe into a period often called the Dark Ages. The centralized authority that had maintained roads, aqueducts, and trade routes was gone. Cities shrank, learning declined, and Europe fragmented into a patchwork of smaller, warring kingdoms. Yet, from these ashes, the seeds of modern Europe were sown. Roman law, language, and culture lived on, shaping the nations that would eventually emerge. The legacy of Rome is all around us, a timeless reminder that even the greatest empires are not immortal. What do you think was the biggest reason for Rome's fall? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the mysteries of our past.